Hello, thanks for dropping in. I look over at my, well, what once was a very neat, somewhat tidy desk, and well, you know, things happen. Anyway, I found something on one of the discs that I thought I would share. And it's funny, it was on the back side of a disc. I wasn't even going to look, but I said, oh look, that disc is notched. Let's have a look, because I don't believe there was anything on the front. So, without further ado, oh yeah, hello. So, here we have, of course, an 1802 monitor connected to a 1541 disk drive, and I am typing in load quote $ quote comma 8 so I can see what is on the disk, and it ends up that it is indeed songs. So I'm going to just go down here, and it was done by a bulletin board that used to be somewhere around Toronto, and apparently it operated for 6 hours a day, probably between midnight and 6 a.m. because it was probably the family phone line, and that's what you did. Actually, when my brother and I were involved first in bulletin boards, we ran one out of our high school, but when the summer came along, we didn't want it to go down, so we actually moved it home, and it went on our home phone number, and people would call. Now, we didn't get a lot of calls, but anyway, somehow or another, we negotiated this with our parents, and you know, it went okay. Anyway, right now this thing is reading things from the disk, and I'm just going to tweak. No, that's too loud. I'm looking for the middle ground. Well, maybe that's all right. This is also a good way to test the 64. Because what we have here is quite an assortment of songs. And we will not get through them all today, but we'll get through some. So right now it is going through the disk. And there's another program I have seen and tinkered with where it would actually make a file of the music things on the disk, so that you wouldn't have to do this every time you loaded it up. That it would just have a file of what was on the disk. You could ask it to update it if you changed anything. But anyway, so right now it is going through and assessing something to do with the files on the disk. Because there were some, you know, jukebox programs that came out, and they were rather, I mean, they just assumed that everything on the disk was music, so you'd run it in and try and load in all kinds of things that were not. So we want to hit F1 to change this, hit F7 to exit, spacebar after completing selections. Well, decisions. I think first we will do the CBM theme. So here it is, the CBM theme on the SID chip on the Commodore 64. to repeat. And that was a song that had been played many, many times on many, many Commodore ads. So, let's see. Why don't we go for the theme from E.T. So here we have the theme from E.T. on the Commodore 64. And of course, the SID chip that makes it all possible. Soon. Do I want to hear it again? Not at this time. Well, let's see here. I think we should change it up a little bit. And we'll do two things together. We'll do Billie Jean and Beat It. Both by Michael Jackson on the Commodore 64. First, Billie Jean. Indeed, here is Billie Jean on the Commodore 64. So that was Billie Jean by Michael Jackson on the Commodore 64. Of course made possible by the SID chip. And now we have Beat It. Soon. Alright, it's time for Beat It. No, we do not want to repeat. Well, that may be enough for today. There are others on here, but I think we'll save that for another time. So thank you very much for coming. You never know what you'll find in a box of old discs. You just never know. And I have just barely started to scratch the surface. So, until we meet again, keep your stick on the ice, stay safe, and now, of course, wear a mask if you want to, and I will keep wearing a mask when I go out. You know what? When I go check the mail and it's outside, I don't wear a mask. When Andrew and I go play catch, I don't wear a mask. When I'm sitting in my car alone, driving somewhere, I don't wear a mask. When I go into the grocery store, I wear a mask. Anyway, thanks for coming. Bye for now.